It's been a while. That's all I'm gonna say. Sorry about that. But what's all this for? So rats are really notorious for not wanting to take their meds. The amount of times that I've seen on rat groups that somebody will have a rat, they really need to take medication, but it's just not taking any. So what I thought I would do is give you some options of different ways that I've used over the past to give my rats some medication. And this way, instead of just having one option, the old baby food is probably the most commonly recommended, you can have like a few. So, starting off with the classic, baby food. This one is really, really simple. All that you need to do is grab your medication. We have some Doxy for my ratto at the moment. I like to put it in like a spoon or a little bottle cap lid that I have here so that they can hide everything away. And it's really useful if you have different ones because then you can give them to all your different rats and then you don't forget who's who. And it's really simple. You just like boop, pop some on top of the baby food. Try and get, if you've got Doxy, don't get anything with dairy in it. I'll cut in with the reason why, I can't remember at the moment, but there is a reason why you shouldn't mix Doxy with dairy. But yeah, let's put in some dairy-free baby food, mix it up, and there we go. Then it's done. Really simple, but sometimes your rat is picky, so you need a few different options. So there's that. The second option here is what I like to call the poison grape. So this one is actually my favorite. Literally all you've got to do is get a chopstick, or in this case, whatever this is, dig a little hole in it. And you've got like a grape with a bit of a hole. And then you just grab your medicine. Let's just put so at the moment we're going to give some meloxicam, also making it up for Little Miss Cinnamon. Normally I would just put it all in the one spot, but today I'm going to demonstrate all the different ways. And then you can just shove that straight in there. Bloop. Oops. Normally that doesn't happen. I was just a bit quick. Just as long as your hole is big enough, should all fit. But I kind of messed it up. So go slow and try and not accidentally make everything fall out. So if your rat doesn't like that, we can go with a little pancake. Just a little banana pancake. As I was making pancakes, I just like drizzled a little bit on the side, stuck it in the freezer, and I can defrost whenever I want. Great thing about pancakes is they are super duper absorbent, oddly enough. So you can put quite a bit of stuff in it. So I've run out of medication, so at the moment I'm just going to put some fish oil on it, just to like pretend. Sometimes fish oil is really good for their skin. You just drop it on, wait for it to absorb. Put your off if you want. And there's it. So that's 3 whole options of things that you can do for your rats. That's not just like stabbing stuff in their mouth, because they don't really like that. Now, 2 more things. If you don't have baby food at home and you can't make it out to the shops for whatever, it's not your only option. So here I have some apricot jam. I need a spoon. I have some honey. We'll need a spoon. Put that. I'll be back in 2 seconds. So I've also got some honey, which, oh no, that's a jam again, idiot. Which is a little bit sticky. Oh my god, I'm so sweaty. It's so hot, but it's meant to be winter. What is happening? These stage lights. So you don't want your ratty to choke on it, so this is what I do. Just put a dollop of honey in. get some boiling water. Put like the tiniest bit of boiling water in it. And all that this does is it turns it from a goopy mess to like a sweet little drink. You just got to be really, really, really careful with it. Obviously, don't give it to your rats as soon as you've put the boiling water in. You've got to wait for that to cool. Also, don't put any of your medication in while it's still boiling. That can change the arrangement of the chemicals, which you do not want to do. But it really, because you're using such little water, it should cool down. Yeah, like that's already good to the touch. Like really quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some doxycycline in that for my other ratties. And then that's it. So all of the different options and for different ways to medicate your pets, your pet rats. Oh my god, what's happening there? So just a few little tips and tricks for being able to get them to eat. So sometimes they just don't want it. Like they can taste it, they know what's going on, but here are a few tricks where if you're having trouble, might help. So first of all, especially if you're doing the grape method, give them a grape like every day. Like when they're not being medicated, just give them a grape. You can put some fish oil if you need to give them fish oil, but just getting them used to the fact that you're going to give them a grape and that grape is going to be tasty, not poisoned, nothing wrong with it. You start doing that and they really start to trust you. The other thing is to give everybody in the cage a grape at the same time. So say you're only medicating one person, well, one ratty, you give the rat that you're medicating this grape, but then you give all the other grapes, all the other rats, a grape as well. And what that does is it builds trust in the rat that you are just giving a treat. If you take a rat out of the cage, away from their cage mates, and you pull it aside and you just like give them a tiny cup of weird smelling sweet stuff, no matter how nice and sweet and delicious it is, they're not going to trust it. They're going to be like, that's a bit weird. Why am I getting taken away from my friends for having a treat? That's very strange. Normally I get fed in the cage with my friends. But if you do like we did here, absolutely everybody, this one's cinnamon's, it's drugged, the other two's from the other ones, and we give one to each of them, then they're gonna grab it, they're gonna be like, I'm gonna eat this, and no, you can't have this because it's mine. So it really just like helps in building that trust with the rats. Finally, if none of these methods work and you really do have to just syringe feed your rat, I've done another video where I'm syringe feeding my rats, and like you can train them to really enjoy the syringe, and I've done that with Sonic and he loves the syringe, but once you start using it with the medication, they start to not trust it as much. So it's really important to keep up that syringe is a good thing before you start tricking them into putting some medication in there as well. My final tip, unfortunately, is if you do really have to force feed them their medication, then it's really time to start thinking about how their quality of life is. So if it's like a young rat and you think they're only going to be on medication for like 2 weeks, then maybe it's worth force feeding the medication until they get better and they start to want to try these. Always try and offer them the treat method first, because if they have good intentions with being medicated and they feel good, then they're more likely to be able to take it. But if they're that sick and they need to be force fed it, just kind of remember how you would feel to have medication shoved down your throat, how old the rat is, and how commonly you need to do it, and whether it's worth the risk. But that's a bit of a sad ending. So I'm going to just put some footage in of the rats eating because it's cute. Alright, have a good week. Bye! Nom 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 nom. Do them? She's like, oh, I'm not too sure about that. What about a bit of pancake? Pancake?